Hi, this is attorney Nicole Christie from the Christie Law Firm, where we work hard to make families stronger. And in this next installment on our series, How Do I Get My Kids Back? I want to talk to you about how to use service providers to your benefit. We have another video where we just talk about the purpose of service providers, but I want to just speak to you about how to use service providers to your advantage. And I'll explain to you about a client that we had. This particular client had, a mental health concern, DCF, removed the client's children and noted that this person had to engage in services. And she was seeing a counselor, actually several counselors, but they were having difficulty connecting the counselor with DCF. DCF has to speak to your service provider to make sure that you are making progress. And so one of the things that we suggested that she do is utilize one of her counseling sessions. She was seeing this person several times a month to actually speak with DCF. And it worked really, really well. So, if it gets to a point where DCF isn't connecting with your service provider, utilize that tactic, making sure that your provider is talking to DCF. It does not make sense to go to counseling to do all of these services and your service provider says, hey, I don't have time to talk to DCF. That's going to be at a disadvantage. Make sure that your service providers are supporting the work that you're trying to do, that you want to get your kids back, that they're making the phone calls. Some service providers are really good about that. They'll return DCF's call, they will send over the reports, and some are not. And if you're finding that you're working with people who aren't meeting with DCF, really, are not taking that as a priority, you may want to consider someone else. But another option is using one of your counseling sessions, even a half of it, 15 minutes of it. DCF doesn't need to have a long conversation, but making sure that they are connecting with DCF. This is how you utilize your providers to your advantage. So keep in mind your providers are there to help you, but they also can act as advocates. We as attorneys, if we know that you've got a strong service provider willing to testify on your behalf, we're going to give them a call, we'll give them a subpoena, we'll get them into court, we'll prep them for trial, because they are going to be necessary if to convince a judge, if DCF is not in agreement, that you're ready to have your kids back. But I've never seen where you have a lot of service providers saying that the client is ready and DCF says no, that's not true. So if you got your providers lined up, they're ready to talk to DCF, they're making those efforts, you stand a far better chance at reunification than if there's nobody there to support your bid for reunification. There's nobody there to say, hey, things have changed. Nobody there to say there was nothing wrong in the first place. So you need your service providers and make sure they are working for you. So stay tuned. We have some more in this particular series and we have some previous ones. Take a look at the entire series. It's so important that you realize what can be done so that you can get your kids back, because it's not impossible. We are seeing it happen on a regular basis and we want to see it happen for you. Take care until next time.